was a nice little touch, I thought. Comes with all the cables, it seems like. Seems pretty complete. Like I said, it comes... I bought the winch. It doesn't come with the winch mount plate. You have to buy it per your vehicle, so I ordered this. However, I come to find out that after reading the instructions that I had to buy an extended cable kit too, because those cables, the yellow and the blue ones, aren't going to be long enough to reach from the contactor to the battery. So I went ahead and bought this 4-gauge wire, 25 feet 4-gauge, which is a little bit thicker than the 6-gauge that comes with the winch, because I believe that's what that is, a 6-gauge. And I bought these connectors. Now just crimp them on the cable when I cut it to length to reach from the contactor, which is going to be up underneath this hood. I'm going to mount the contactor, I believe, right up next to the fuse box. Okay, guys, just to show, I took the bumper off. Up top here, you'll see there's 2 bolts that go in there like this, and it's got a little spacer, a little washer actually, that sits up here. And the bumper sits on this side of it, and it just runs through there, and nut on the inside. And then you got the 3 bolts down here crossed, and they're all 13 millimeter or 12 millimeters on the bottom, those 3, and then you got 14s. These are 14 millimeter. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and tear the skid plates off down there. You got to take them off to run the cables along the frame. So I'll get back with you. Okay, one thing to note as you install this is I recommend to put never sees on everything. I put never sees on all my bolts, especially on a side-by-side or four-wheel or anything, because of the rust corrosion issues. When you mount these this bracket here, the instructions show you, I don't know if I can get back here to show you, but there's a notch. The notch goes out towards the wheel on both sides of the reinforcement bracket on the back. It's got the nuts on them. Just make sure you put those facing outside towards the wheel on both sides. I just impact it with my 3/8 impact as tight as I can get it. Go from there. Now I'm getting ready to install the fair lead bracket and the winch, and it says the kit comes with 2 lengths of mount bolts, as you can see there. It says to use the longer ones. They're 25 millimeter and 20 millimeter. It says to make sure you use the long ones to mount the winch and the fair lead bracket up through here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Okay, I took all the skid plates off, make it easier to work on this thing. You're gonna have to do it anyhow. Have to run the wiring along the existing wire loom. I can't get up here. Right through here, through back here, back inside this area. Just follow that loom all the way back to the battery box back in here, and which I got the battery box cover off. You can see I'll be hooking it to this positive side. I'll probably run it up. There's a little hole back in here. I'll run it up through there to get to the battery, and then I'll use this ground block here to use for the ground cable. You can see back here on top of the glove box, I mounted the remote receiver. I figured that was going to be the best place where it's out of the way. Keep it the driest I could up on top there, plus it's angled forward a little bit so the water will drain down and out. Plus I think eventually what I'm going to do in here, because you get heat on your feet, that's one of the complaints, I guess, from the air blowing in here and getting down on your feet on both sides where it's open back in here. I'm just going to see if I can't eventually get some foam and just build like a block off up here on both sides. And see if at least that'll help at all, which I think it would. But time will tell. I'm going to buy some of this thick foam, cut it to fit, and wedge it back in there. But that's for another day. Okay guys, here is the finished product. I set my contactor there, and all the wires from the contactor I got zip tied back in here, so you get a kind of a clean look from out here. Got the winch all wound up, installed this rubber stopper in the hook. Now to put the rubber stopper on, you're going to have to unwind all the cable off of the winch. And there's a little ball at the very end that you got to keep that holds the cable into the winch. I probably should take a video of that, but it's kind of self-explanatory once you unwind it all the way. Then you got to slide your rubber over the cable and fish it back through the fair lead and back onto the drum. So I think that's about it. If you guys want to see how I did I got the dash still loose, so I can show you what I did inside the dash here. There's the wires going to the winch, and I tapped into this wire here, which is a fused wire. There's a fuse in the fuse box. It's like an auxiliary plug, I guess, probably for the wiper or something. So I just used it and tapped into it, run the switch in that blank there, and then trace the wires back. It's kind of a mess back in here, but that's the fuse that comes in the wiring kit, and there's the harness. I still don't know what the heck those things are for, but they all got caps on them. I ain't tested them to see if they're hot or anything, but previously I wired in some lights as well, just for something to do. I got that light there, which I installed these up top, and they're like from under the rail bed light kit for a pickup truck. They work pretty good. They light up the dump. Yeah, okay. Try it again. They light up the bed pretty good when you're at night, so you can see what you got in the bed. Those 3 or 4 I got back here, if you can see, they shine pretty good back in the bed, keep enough light back in there. And also on the bottom side of that switch, I installed one of those Pilot stud lights. And then underneath here, I bought these from Tractor Supply. They're 1-inch red LEDs. I also run a set back underneath here in the back seat, just for some light at nighttime. Don't hurt your eyes or anything, because it's red light, you know. Red lights don't affect the pupils much while you're driving. So that's basically about it. If you guys ain't got any questions or anything, feel free to post on there, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Alright guys, thank you.